Good morning. Good Saturday morning. Let's see. Yes, it is Saturday morning. I'm sorry I was absent yesterday. Got up and out super early, me and Chris, to go to make arrangements for my aunt. I had somebody compliment me this morning. He said he complimented the family. It was quite the statement. He said, "I'm not trying to be disrespectful or morbid, but man, your family passes peacefully." And I thought, yeah, we do, don't we? That's awesome because we know where our hearts are. We know where we're going, and you can't keep us from it, right? So that was an interesting thing. Anyway, so I was making arrangements for my aunt. I should be back on track. As far as I know, we'll be continuing. I'm going to be playing with another computer because Chris and I leave a week from tomorrow to go to Fort Worth and on a big adventure. And I am very excited. It's coming together, and God is providing, and I just believe it's going to be miraculous. I'm expecting a miracle. I'm expecting him to walk and talk, and you know what? We may come home, so we'll come home different one way or the other, right? But I'm expecting God to meet us there because He's providing for that journey, and so when He provides, I just ride with it, right? So anyway, this morning, so I was actually preparing for my PR 180, which I did a while ago, but the scripture that I used for that was so good. I went, okay, I've got to do the devotional on this because you know what? This is what I love about the Word, you guys. Hebrews tells us the Word is alive, is powerful, is sharper than a two-edged sword, and it can divide between the intents and the thoughts and the actions of the heart, right? But what I love about its aliveness, David said in Psalm 119, and I don't know which verse because that's a really long psalm, right? But he said, "This is my comfort in my affliction that your word gives me life." The old King James says quickens me, but that word quicken means gives me life. And so this morning, as I was reading this, I'm like, this is what I love because I saw something in a very familiar scripture that I had never seen before. Now, the word doesn't change, I change. When we take in the word and we spend the time in prayer and we get to know God and we get intimate with Him and we know Him and He knows us, right? Then when we come back to the word, we see things we didn't see before. We see it on a new level. The word did not change. We changed. And that's a good thing. Now, if we don't think about the word, we don't have intimacy with God, and we don't spend time in prayer and just talking to Him and saying, "Hey, what do you think about this? Should I do this or should I do that? What do you think? What does this mean, God?" When we don't have that connection with Him, that relationship with Him, the word just becomes ink on a page, and it becomes stoic, and it becomes hard, and it becomes harsh. But when we have that relationship with Him, when we come back, He has changed us because it says He's changing us from glory to glory. And I got to be careful or I'm going to go over today, right? So this is a very familiar scripture, and yet I saw something brand new in it. And I was like, I love it. I just love that God changes us. He doesn't set us on a shelf and say, come back in a few thousand years and see how you're doing, right? He is intimately acquainted with our ways. He loves us. He walks through time with us, sometimes in spite of us, but He walks through time with us and it changes us in the process. That's just our amazing, amazing, loving, compassionate God who desires to be with us. So as I read this familiar scripture, let me just read it real quick. I'm in Matthew 6 because we're looking at the commands of God in PR 180. Our focus this month is what did Jesus say? What are the things He said that are non negotiable? Well, everything He said was non negotiable, but we miss some of these because of our independent nature here in the States, especially, right? We want to be so independent. Don't tell me what to do. Well, I got news for you. People tell you what to do all the time. The government tells you got to have insurance on your vehicle. You got to wear your seatbelt. You got to wear a helmet if you ride a motorcycle. Most states have that. You're told what to do all the time. You go to work, your boss tells you what to do, right? So, we got there's lots of things that we're told what to do a lot. Okay? So, I don't know why we get so rough on the edges about that. But anyway, so Jesus says this in Matthew 6:19. Do not. He did not say consider or if you find it convenient or when you're ready. He said, do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth. Period. That's a command. That's don't focus on the things on this earth. Don't focus and treasure riches on earth. Do we need to work and make money? Absolutely. We got to pay our rent. We got to pay our electric bill. We got to have a savings. We got lots of things we got to do as far as money goes and as far as what we got to do, right? We got to do what we got to do. But don't let that be the focus of our heart. And here he tells you why. Moth and rust destroy. Thieves break in and steal. So if you are treasuring what the money you got in the bank and it's gone, your treasure is gone, right? Then he says this, next part of the command: do lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. So our treasure is in heaven. It's the things we can't see that we treasure in our heart above the treasures, the things that are of value in this earth. And he tells you why. Where moth nor rust destroys, will not destroy, where it goes, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. So he says, don't let your treasure be here, because it can rust, it can destroy, the thief can steal it. But if when your treasure's in heaven, it can't be stolen, it's not going to wane over time. It's not going to go away over time. It's not going to rust. It's not going to devalue like it can here. Even the value of our dollar goes up and down all the time based on the stock market. It changes all the time. If you buy stocks, if you go to the foreign exchange and exchange currencies, those change all the time. But heaven's currency does not change. It is eternally valuable, right? So we want to focus on it. So that's a natural reason to lay up your treasure in heaven. Then he gives us the second reason, the spiritual reason, the heart reason, the heart behind why he's telling us this. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And I realize that in these simple three little scriptures that we've read for years and years and years and quoted, and we'll see it on all kinds of things, he gave us the whole formula. He said, don't lay up for yourselves on earth. Don't lay up treasures on earth. Don't value what you see on earth, because a natural reason. Do value what you have in heaven. And he gave us a natural reason. But then he ties it all into his heart and our heart. Because where your treasure is, that's where your heart's going to go. So if you value the things here in earth, in time more, your heart's going to be tied to those things. But if we value the things that God has given us, think about it: love, peace, righteousness, his presence, a relationship with him. When we value those things, that's what our heart's going to follow. Our heart is going to follow what we value. And so if we value what his heart values, our heart's going to be pursuing him. That doesn't mean we don't have money down here. Hey, if you got a big bank account, that's great. Just don't put your heart in it. Don't invest your heart in things that can go away. Don't invest your heart and your energies and your life into things that somebody can steal. Because if you invest your heart and your life into great riches and the stock market bottoms out and you lose it all, and you can lose your heart in the process. People actually have heart attacks over stuff like that because that's where their treasure is. But if you've put your heart in the treasure that God gives us, and you know what, these days, having his peace, that's a treasure. It'll carry you through many, many struggles, every day, every hardship. You can still have his peace. Ain't no thief can steal that, right? That's really good English there. It's okay, I taught math. Right? So a thief can't steal that. It's not going to drain out of a bank account. It's not going to rust and go away. It's not going to decay. His peace is forever. His righteousness is forever. His love is forever. As a matter of fact, Romans tells us, you absolutely have nothing in time or eternity that can separate you from his love. That's worth treasuring. So our natural reasons to treasure the things of God are that nothing can destroy it. Our spiritual reasons is nothing can destroy it. And our heart is going to follow our treasure. What you treasure is what your heart's going to follow. And so today I just encourage you to take a moment and meditate on God's mercy because it's never going to go away. Be thankful for His grace because it never wears out. Be thankful for His peace because it doesn't expire, right? It doesn't expire. Be thankful for the righteousness that He clothes us with because He never takes it back. It's not gonna fall off. It's not gonna be. You don't wash it so much. You don't have to wash it at all. But you wash clothes, they wear out. But we clothed in His righteousness, it doesn't wear out with time. Moths don't eat it. They're very destructive, by the way. And so today, focus on those things that can't be taken from you. Treasure those things. Let your heart follow those things that God has given us that can't be taken away, that don't weaken over time, that don't go away over time. Because when we pursue those things and we pursue Him, and we put our treasure in Him, we've let our heart follow His heart. And that's how we are filled with His peace, His love, His grace, and His mercy, no matter what life throws at us. Gosh, I just encouraged myself. I hope y'all got something out of that. I pray that peace and grace and mercy and His love are just multiplied to you today and that you realize how much He loves you, how much He cares, and how much He's invested in you. Get your eyes on eternity and not on earth, on time, right? Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.